Hello, welcome back, it's great to see you. Today we are making some little sequin shaker pouches. These are inspired by I Am Absolutely Alice. She made some gorgeous ones a while back and I really wanted to give them a go myself. I am just using a standard plastic wallet, the kind that you use to put documents in, that sort of thing. So this is an A4 size and you can grab these from supermarkets or the works, they're really easy to get hold of. I've cut a 4-inch section from the bottom of the page protector and now I'm just stitching my rectangles onto it. A couple of things to note when you're doing this: make sure you only stitch 3 sides or you will have nowhere to put your sequins in, and the side ones, you can see them here in the centre, I'm just cutting in between them now. Make sure to put 2 lines there because obviously you're going to need 3 sides for each rectangle. I hope that makes sense. I hope you can see what I'm talking about, which is much easier than trying to explain. Now for my favourite part, which is making the sequin mix. I'm using these iridescent sequins from 𝓛𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. I am working with them on this video, I'm collaborating with them, so I'll have them linked down below for you, the sequins and the whole shop, and I will have a discount code in the description as well for you to use on your own purchases. Let me know in the comments if you do get anything. I'm nosy like that, I like to see what caught people's eye. So back to the sequins that I'm making. I've added some from my stash, a sort of minty blue colour, and then a sequin mix that I was sent from a friend, and it's like a ready mixed, bluey one. So I've added that in and now I am just sharing that between the pouches. I could have done this a much quicker way. I've worked that out now and I'm pouring them, but the spoon was a slow way to start with, but it's accurate, so there's that. I'm disappearing now to stitch the top closed. I'm doing this with 2 lines purely because I don't trust the stitching. I'm sure it would be fine, but the 2 just gives me peace of mind. So I'm going to disappear with each of these one by one. There you go, that's 2 of them done. Final one's in the machine now, and it's back. There you go. So I'm grabbing my 𝓷𝓵𝓮𝓪 eyelet punch. Is it 𝓷𝓵𝓮? I think so. So we are Memory Keepers one. And some white eyelets from 𝓷𝓵𝓬𝓪. I'm using a piece of paper, I'm sort of putting that with the plastic and then putting it through the punch. That's so that it definitely goes through. I find that otherwise the plastic sort of gets a bit stuck. So that's a tip if you're using that punch on these plasticky pockets or ever on that kind of material. I always put it with something else to help it go through cleanly. I am adding all of the eyelets now. I'm cutting off the little threads from the sewing machine. And then I'm grabbing these pins, which are also from 𝓛𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. I love these to add dangles and charms to absolutely everything. We got some in the Lollipop Box Club kit, I want to say last month, and I used every single one immediately. They are my favourite way to add little beads and dangly things. So I'm grabbing my box of charms. I'm going to grab out a huge selection of them. I do not use them all, but I'm pulling the colours from the Make a Splash collection by Rosies Studio. I haven't explained why that's in the corner yet, sorry. I pulled that out when I was making the sequin mix so that I could make sure I was colour matching to it, because I knew that was the collection I was going to use to embellish these. I have an A4 plastic popper wallet that I keep all of my Make a Splash collection in, so that's what I'm grabbing now. I've grabbed this little dish to put the ephemera in just because it's easier to go through. And now I'm looking for some little bits that I can dangle from those pins at the top. Straight away I find that little mint fish that's under my hand as I'm working, and I definitely want to add him. I've got the little jellyfish top right, and I've got the ampersand that I think will be really cool to add to the pin because I don't need to punch a hole in it, I can just use the gap that's naturally there. For the other 2, I'm using the small side of this punch and adding a hole. I wish I'd used a pokey tool or something really, because the holes are very big for the sort of pin that needs to go through them, but they work out pretty nonetheless. The next thing I'm doing is adding these dangle bits from My Green Cow. A while back she was clearing out her jewellery shop and she had a bunch of these, and she very kindly sent me all the sparkly ones. So I'm adding one of those to each of these. I think I've got a blue one, a silver one, and like an iridescent one. They are all on lobster claw clasps from what I can see here and what I can remember, so they're really easy to add onto the pin. If not, I could have just added them onto a little jump ring. It wouldn't have been much of a job, but it's handy they're already done. So I'm adding those, then I'm adding these little shell charms from AliExpress, which are gorgeous. A little pink or purple bell to the one with the little fish. And now I'm finding a tiny word sticker for each of the pockets. Each little pouch has kind of got its colour scheme going now, so I'm choosing a word sticker that matches that. Down the bottom I've got this pretty purple one. I go for a blue one top left. I think I go for lilac again top right. So they've all got sort of, they're similar, but they've got their sort of own little colour scheme going. And then I back each of the tiny words with a piece of paper from the kit, just to make it stand out a little bit more. I know I want to add something else behind that. I think about these banner pieces, sticker pieces, but they're slightly too thin. They don't poke out enough for my liking. So I go back into the ephemera and pull out these vellum pieces, which are stunning. I absolutely love these. I'm pretty sure I use a few of those. I'm sad I don't use that shell top left because I really like it watching it now, but at the time it was not what I wanted. So I choose my vellum pieces, then I go back into the ephemera and I look for some of the opaque pieces instead. I like the suitcase, doesn't end up making the final cut. I like a little shell that I'll find in a moment, but it looks like I finished this one first. So I'm just stapling that on with a tiny attacher, one that goes through the word and the little vellum piece, and one on the other side to hold it flat. That way, when my recipient gets this, they can easily snip the pouch open, use the sequin mix, and pull all of the bits off the front to use as well. Here's the little shell I was talking about. So I do decide to use the shell. I staple both sides of the word, and then the little shell falls out, which you've just seen. And I decide that actually I don't like it, so it's very handy that it didn't get stapled down straight away. I decided to use one of these tiny puffy sticker mermaids instead. I got these in a swap last year and they are stunning, they're so adorable. So I've just popped that one on the top right hand side of the word sticker. And then I'm moving on to one with a jellyfish. I like this tag and I thought it was cool to have something a bit different on one of them. So I've got the tag, the jellyfish and the two charms hanging from that one. And then I'm just going to have the little word stapled down the bottom on its own, because I think that's enough with the bigger pieces at the top there. All three of those are now complete, so we know the next step, don't we? It's gems. I go straight into my gem box and pull out all the ones that I think that match. I've got some iridescent ones, some really pretty blue ones, and then the ones on the right with the dark blue are like the last few of a pack, so I really want to use those up if I can. Just adding a few of each to each one, all different blues and all that sort of good stuff that matches this kit. I had to add some teeny tiny ones. I like my enamel dots or gems to be different sizes, and so those tiny ones often save me when I want to add more gems and I need a different size. I'm just showing you the completed pouches up close now. Sorry it wasn't very in focus right at the beginning there, but I've got the three complete. I really love how these turned out and I'm really excited to share them with my pen pals. A huge thank you to In Love Art Shop for collaborating with me, and to you guys for hanging out and crafting with me today. I'll be back to craft again with you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!